Sandy Says Read. Welcome to the channel. This evening we are going to do the next letter in the alphabet tag. Yay! We're up to the letter, what are we up to? The letter I. I did kind of prepare for this, you guys. Hopefully this won't suck. All right. The letter I in the alphabet tag. This tag originated over at Jim's Books, Reading, and Stuff. I will put a link to his channel in the drop-down box below. Let's dive into it. I'm going to skip the first prompt and go to the second prompt. I is for Iago. Who is the most sinister villain in your reading and why? I'm going to go with Anthony Fauci, and I won't dive into it because I don't get political on this channel. We don't do that, but I'm going to go with my villain is Anthony Fauci. That's it. Okay. Italy. What is the last book you read by an Italian author? I don't have her book here because I couldn't find it. One of my favorite Italian authors, the only one I could think of right off the top of my head, is Jo Linsdell. She lives over in Italy, and she has been an author friend of mine for, I don't know, probably going on 10 years now, right? And she has some children's books. She also has some like traveling books. I think she has a wedding book, like how to plan a wedding in Italy. And her children's books are the ones that I have read. And there was one in particular about going to the zoo. I remember that one vividly. And I used to have it on my children's bookshelf. And I can't find it there now. I must have loaned it to someone, right? Someone with kids, right? And I don't have it there now. So I would go with Jo Linsdell as my favorite Italian author. I probably have other Italian authors, on the shelves in this room, but I don't pay close attention to where an author is from when I'm reading their books. I don't pay attention to that. And the next prompt is going to kind of discuss why. Ready? I'm substituting the next prompt. And I'm going with I is for independent. Let's talk about that for a minute. There are two main things that I try to do with this channel. I try to let the world know that I exist and I have books out there in the world. The other thing I try to do with this channel is support and highlight indie authors, other indie authors, independently published with indie publishing houses, right? And self-published authors too. I like to bring attention to authors who have gone through some of the stuff that I have gone through, right? Because doggone, it's just, all boats rise with the rising tide, right? So the more readers who know about good things that are happening in indie publishing, the better. And if there are more authors that I can just show to the world, then I want to do that. Now, I'm not trying to say that my channel is like breaking ground for anyone. I know this is a small little channel. I'm a small little person, but every little bit helps, especially when you're a new author or if you're an indie author who's just not getting a whole lot of attention from the media, right? Then every little bit helps. So I try to do what I can with this channel. So this prompt, independent. If you guys want to do this tag too, I encourage you to talk about who is your favorite independent author, an author who is either self-published or working with an indie publishing house, an author who inspires you or who is just a really good writer who needs some attention. I know so many indie authors that it was hard to narrow this down because if I pick one, I'm not highlighting all the others that are out there. I mean, seriously, how many of you listening to this channel right now, how many of you would have known of the author J.R. Bloodsteel before you saw the video review I did of her book, Our Saving Grace? I mean, she's a very good author. That book, you can tell that it was plotted out purposefully. All those bits and pieces, they came together perfectly. You could tell she put work, she put effort, she put time and thought into all those plot elements. Point A worked together with all these others that moved up to the climax, right? And you could see how, okay, this element here happened because of these elements that stacked up here. It was perfectly plotted. It was well done, right? But how many of you out there knew of her before I did that review? Okay, now I'm not saying that I'm that my channel is going to make or break some indie author. It's not. But it's one more point on the map. It's one more little point. Okay, so for the independent author that I'm thinking of this evening, it's Carol Preflatish. She is an author that I met through the Imaginarium convention. She's published by Seventh Star Press, which is the company that did my my Choices trilogy most recently. And she has the Nathan Perry mystery series. And I have reviewed 2 of the 3 Nathan Perry mystery books that are out and available now on this channel. So I can put a link to those reviews in the drop-down box below. She has the 4th one written, and it is with Seventh Star Press now. It's with the editor now. She used to write romance novels, although she doesn't do as many of them right now. But she wrote a screenplay of one of the Nathan Perry mystery novels, and she won an award with it. Her very first screenplay, and she won an award. And I was there the night that she won the award, and I'm like, woman, this is amazing. And she was like crying happy tears. I mean, she was so pleased with that award. And I mean, she's a great indie author. I can recommend Carol Preflatish. Okay, so that's prompt, what is that? 1, 2, 3. Well, it's prompt number 4. I've changed to independent. All right, next prompt number 5. I is for ink. Do you have any tattoos, and what do you think of tattoos? Surprise, yes, I do have a tattoo. Not surprising, it's related to Duran Duran. Yeah, when I was an adult, like full-grown adult, lady, married, in my career, I decided I want to get a tattoo. So I did. I went to a tattoo place, and I made the tattoo I wanted. It's a bass clef, because John Taylor plays the bass, and he's awesome. So I took the bass clef, and then I did a mirror image of it, so it looks like a heart. So I have a bass clef on the back of my shoulder. And I didn't like take a picture of it or something for you guys, because I don't show myself on these videos. You all don't need to see that. But trivia, it is in a Duran-related video somewhere on the interwebs. We're just going to leave that alone. I'm not going to challenge you guys to find it, because, God, somebody probably would. But there you go. Okay. Next, inspiration. I is for inspiration. What book inspired you to do something? And several books have inspired me to like get off my duff and get stuff done, you know, in my life. But the book I'm going to choose to use for this prompt is The Hobbit. Because you guys, you know that when I was a kid, I got The Hobbit. My dad gave me a copy of The Hobbit. And it inspired me to focus the writing I was doing into speculative fiction, into fantasy fiction, because boy, did I love that. Yeah, The Hobbit. The Hobbit inspired me greatly. Tolkien inspired me greatly. Okay, next prompt is Istanbul. Which city or cities would you like to see before you die, and why? I would like to see Pompeii. I would like to go to Pompeii. I'm kind of morbid, right? But I would like to go there. I don't know why. I feel just drawn to go see Pompeii and visit that site. The research and stuff that has been done on Pompeii, I dig it. I enjoy like looking through the information about Pompeii and seeing the stories and even the stories that have like a lot of flair to them, so that maybe the research is a little bit, I don't know, skewed. You know, the story about Hera, the dog of Pompeii, that supposedly, I mean, they found the dog, you know, wrapped around a child, like the dog was protecting the child. That story of Hera the dog just moves me, right? I love that. Like, I named a dragon in one of my stories Hera because of Hera the dog from Pompeii. Yes, stories like that, just, I'm intrigued by that. I want to go to Pompeii. I want to visit the ruins and see the stuff. All right, the final I in our I tag is I is for many book titles. What is the last book you read beginning with an I? You guys, this was driving me nuts. I was looking around the library in this room, and I finally figured out it was Illuminae from the the Gemina, Obsidio, and Illuminae. I took the cover off of it because if you're familiar with this book, you know that the cover is quite. It would have quite the glare here on the screen. So it's Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Those were the authors of the Illuminae series. There you go, Illuminae. I enjoyed this series a lot. And in fact, there's a review of the stuff here somewhere on the channel. That's it. You guys, that's the I tag. Thumbs up for getting through the I tag pretty easily, I think. Yay. That was inspiring, was it not? All right, you guys, thumbs up, and please follow along here at the channel. Please click the bell notification icon so you're notified each time we do these fun things. Thank you so much for tuning in.